questions answered, like, from all applicants? Is there,
You mean another round?
or do we have to make the decision?
We don't have to do anything. There's a hope that we can, give some direction in our last half an hour in the closed session.
But you can, there is the option of following up with a question to all three and having them respond.
Absolutely.
And then we could ultimately vote at the end of the next board meeting, which is in 1 week.
Right. But one thing we can do is today give direction to staff to start contract work with one of the firms.
It'd be a tight window. I do my best to get it for the packet on Thursday. It's just that if I don't have a direction on one, that means I have to make sure that the proposed contract of all three are included for you, which will be a little bit more legwork on my end. But I don't want to be an obstacle in the way. I'm going to do what it takes so it's in the packet for you.
So then
We're actually in our last half an hour of discussion right now, too.
sorry, okay.
No, that's okay. I just want to point that out, that that's what
You're right,
our
I cut Allison
attention
out
is.
before.
Oh, that's okay, I was gonna start talking about the last half hour, I think, so. I can save it, it'll go longer, I can ask it now,
Yeah,
or the other
right.
time,
Yeah, the last half an hour, that can go longer.
You want me to see if
He's right here at the door.
Bill?
Well, I guess.
Lee, are you around the corner?
I am.
All right, if you want to head
I
in?
didn't know if your last group was done.
Yeah, we're the last one.
Hi there. Hi.
So we'll start with introductions. Want to start on your side, Mike?
Mike Marr.
Allison Rosette.
And I'm Guy Johnson.
I'm David Armenta.
Hi. Also.
Hello, Tammy Bachworth.
And McCaig.
How you do? I'm Lee Shimborski.
Do you have a PowerPoint?
I do.
So our format tonight is we're going to be discussing you and your firm for about 45 minutes. The first 15 is your presentation.
Okay.
The second 15 minutes would be Q&A from us to you. And then the last 15 is amongst ourselves without you present.
Gotcha.
So that's what we're doing.
All right.
And we've been doing a pretty good job of holding the time too.
All right. I thought I had heard a voice here, so I didn't want to impose on your last presentation here. So, do you mind if I pass these out?
Please do.
All right. Thanks.
And then this will control, it's the down arrow to advance.
All right. I got it.
Very well.
Weather didn't turn out so bad after. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about.
Did you come up from Chicago today?
I had an engagement in Chicago today.
So what was the driveway?
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a little, 2 or 3 inches. I was out in the northwest suburbs there.
Okay.
And, so, no, in fact, I made it home to Mequon in time to grab some dinner and then short hop down here.
Okay.
So,
Great.
but thanks again for the opportunity to talk to you about recruitment services, for a very important process here. Villages don't do this very often, at least hopefully you don't do this very often. And of course, Shorewood has a history of long-term village managers, and we'll talk to you about the process and how to have a successful outcome here for your next search. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is several things about our firm's philosophy, our expertise, as well as a little bit about myself, what I'll bring to the recruitment here. I'll walk you through the process, even though it's laid out in the materials that have been provided to you and through our proposal. And talk to you as well as about our guarantee and why we believe that we should consider GovHR. Our firm is located in Northbrook, Illinois, although I am based here in Milwaukee. I have an office in downtown Milwaukee, and as I mentioned, I live in Mecklenburg. And it's that presence that I think also underscores our philosophy and the way that we approach our recruitments here. Our firm does executive recruiting. We do management consulting as well as HR. In fact, when I was HR consulting, when I was down in Palatine, Illinois, is that we're doing a class and comp study down there. And what we think is one of the strengths of our firm is that we do our work exclusively for local governments. And all of us within the firm bring that experience to the table. And I'll talk about that as well, about my own experience here. And these are the tenets, if you will, that underscore our work. We've got consultants located throughout the United States. As I said, our main office in Illinois, I'm based. We've got a couple other consultants based here in Wisconsin. And since 2009, under the previous flag of Voorhees and Associates, our firm has done over 380 recruitments. We pride ourselves on the fact that a quarter of our work are repeat clients. And in fact, I'm working on some of those right now. Working up in the city of Wausau, where I think I'm working on my third recruitment there for them. And so
You say that those are for different positions, not for the same position over and over.
that's right. Yes. So for
What
example,
was the name of your firm before?
pardon me?
You said the name of the firm was different before.
Right. And actually, the roots of our firm goes back to 1972, known as the Paul Rayom Company, part of the Par Group. And
Okay.
yeah, and so in the late 2000s, our owner purchased the Par Group, and it became Voorhees and Associates.
How did stuff with the school board? School district, I recall, years ago.
And so Heidi Voorhees purchased the firm, and then in the last several years, our owners, Heidi Voorhees and Joellen Earl, renamed the firm GovHR USA, because underneath that umbrella also sits GovTemps USA, which is another firm that we do, kind of like the manpower of local government. And although we're not quite that big, but we're trying. So we think that what is our particular strength is that every one of us, including myself, has worked in local government. So, for example, myself, and I'd be the consultant assigned to the recruitment here, is that I worked in local government for over 30 years. Prior to joining GovHR about 3 years ago or so. Most recently, I was the city administrator of Mecklenburg for over 15 years. I worked also in other communities in Wisconsin, Wauwatosa, County of Milwaukee, and then I spent about 12 years in Illinois as an assistant building manager at Buffalo Grove. And I think it's that experience and that amount of networking that I and all the consultants in the firm bring to a process here. We remain active in the associations, both the International City Management Association as well as all the state associations. You'll see us at all those association meetings. It's important, for us to continue those networks, that will eventually result in bringing strong and good candidates to you. So, for example, here are some of the recent recruitments, city administrator recruitments that I've handled in the area here. And in fact, I'm just finishing up Racine. That will be done next week, Tuesday. And I invite you to talk to any one of our folks here. Mayor Dickert, I think, will tell you that they're very pleased with the amount of candidates that, and the quality of the candidates they saw there. I worked with Mayor Scafidi before he decided to go on the radio, and of course, your neighbor here to the west, in the city of Glendale. And so what our process includes, to kick it off, I think is a very important process, which is to understand exactly what you're looking for. What are the qualities, traits that you're looking for from your next village manager? And the process of doing that, for us, is for me to come in for a day, talk to all of you, talk to your department heads, and talk to any other stakeholders that you believe would be important for me to touch base with, so that we have as well of a rounded idea about what you're looking for and what you need. And it not only results in that nice looking brochure that you have there, but more important is that what's in the brochure becomes an important tool in two aspects. One, of course, for the candidates, so that they have a clear understanding of what you're looking for, what the community is like, and what the organization will present to them as they step in here. But equally important, if not more so, is that that's going to be the touch point that you will go back to and judge the candidates by. Just enough to say, this is what we said in the beginning, and how are these candidates measuring up? And is our decision still guided by what we said in the beginning? All right, so after that, we kick things off. We take very extensive process both through advertising. For us, we see advertising anywhere from 12 to 15 outlets or so, including such places as ICMA, of course, all the state associations, the league, but also important networks, because we believe, and as we understand, Shorewood to have a strong commitment to diversity, so it's also important to be advertising in places like the International Hispanic Network, as well as the Forum for Black Public Administrators. So it's those things that we do a big push on. It's social media. We have I think a pretty assertive presence on LinkedIn. We also do a process that I think is something special to us. We have a database in which once that recruitment brochure is done, we then do direct contact emails to anywhere from 500 to up to 1,500 village managers, city administrators, assistant city administrators that will get this direct contact. And then it's the old-fashioned picking up the phone and talking to people. As I said, I have been, my colleagues have been in the profession for a while, and so we know people. And maintain those contacts, and it will be that personal outreach that will say, hey, I'd like to point out the village of Shorewood to you. All of those efforts are important because today's market is candidates' market. And we are seeing that the village will compete with a lot of other communities out there, because what we're seeing is this wave of baby boomer retirements. You're seeing it, of course, right here. Many other communities across the Midwest, as well as the United States, is the same thing. So that's why it's important to have an aggressive process here. We make sure that we handle candidates, with as much, did I goof that up, Tyler?
If you push the up arrow, okay.
Pardon me?
I think you're on slide 9.
All right. I didn't want to go that far. Here we go. Anyway, all right. What is important to know that we also make sure that candidates are handled fairly and with respect, that they get all the acknowledgements, because we're representing you. And we want to make sure, even if candidates don't advance, or perhaps they get one interview, or whatever point in the process that they apply, that they're treated with as much respect as they're due. What our process includes is an initial screening in which we'll make sure that the applicant's credentials match what you're looking for. I will